The chilling saga of the man-eating lions of Njombe stands as one of the most fearsome episodes in the annals of human-wildlife conflict. This terrifying series of events unfolded between 1932 and 1947 in the southern highlands of what was then Tanganyika, now Tanzania, particularly around the town of Njombe. The attacks are among the deadliest recorded, with estimates suggesting that the lions may have killed as many as 1,500 people, making it one of the worst animal-caused disasters in history. The series of attacks began in the early 1930s when a pride of lions started preying on the residents of Njombe and the surrounding areas. The situation was exacerbated by local conditions and practices. The region was primarily rural and populated by agricultural communities with minimal infrastructure and limited means of protecting themselves effectively against lion attacks. Houses and huts were often made of materials that did not provide sufficient protection against lion attacks. Furthermore, the customary burial practices of the local tribes, which sometimes involved shallow graves, are believed to have attracted the lions and encouraged their behavior as man-eaters. The situation reached such a critical point that it severely impacted local work routines and daily life, as people became increasingly afraid to venture outside, even in daylight. The economic impact was significant, with many areas facing labor shortages as people refused to work in the fields or travel between towns. The colonial government, under increasing pressure to act, deployed game rangers to deal with the crisis. Among them was George Rushby, a legendary game warden who ultimately confronted the pride. Rushby's campaign to stop the lions spanned several years. He noted that the pride consisted of about 15 lions, although not all were man-eaters. Over time, through persistence and strategic tactics, Rushby managed to track down and kill several lions from the pride. By 1947, Rushby and his team had successfully eliminated the threat, bringing an end to the reign of terror imposed by the lions of Njombe. The operation not only required tracking and hunting skills but also necessitated understanding lion behavior and employing strategies that would protect the remaining lion population from unnecessary harm. The aftermath of the Njombe incidents led to changes in how human communities interacted with wildlife, prompting improvements in local housing and community planning to better safeguard against potential threats from wildlife. It also contributed to a broader understanding within the conservation community about the conditions that can lead to such extreme behaviors in predators. Today, the story of the man-eating lions of Njombe is remembered as a stark example of the complex relationship between humans and wildlife, highlighting issues of habitat encroachment, the impact of human practices on animal behavior, and the challenges of wildlife conservation in human-dominated landscapes.
Sheer number of victims. The lions of Njombe are believed to have killed as many as 1,500 people, making this one of the most lethal episodes of animal-human conflict in recorded history. Duration of the attacks. The attacks spanned over 15 years, from 1932 to 1947, a remarkably long period for such a high level of predation to persist, which reflects both the severity and complexity of controlling the situation. Behavioral anomaly. The fact that a whole pride of lions turned to man-eating, not just one or two individuals, is highly unusual. Normally, only old, sick, or injured lions that find it difficult to hunt natural prey turn to man-eating, but in Njombe, a significant number of the pride participated in the attacks. Impact on daily life. The presence of these man-eaters had a profound impact on the daily life and economic activities of the region, causing people to change their normal behaviors dramatically. Fear of the lions led to labor shortages, as people were afraid to work the fields or travel. George Rushby's role. The extended campaign led by game warden George Rushby to stop the lions is noteworthy. Rushby's methodical and determined effort to address the problem without exterminating the entire pride shows a balance between resolving human-wildlife conflict and conservation. Cultural practices. The local burial practices that involved shallow graves possibly attracting the lions highlight an intersection of cultural habits and wildlife behavior that exacerbated the crisis.